The architect of the refugee deal between the US and Australia has given the ABC an exclusive account of how it took shape. Donald Trump called it a dumb deal, but work is already underway to process hundreds of detainees on Manus Island and Nauru. North America correspondent Stephanie March reports on Australia's side of the bargain.
Anne Richard was, until January, a senior career officer at the US State Department and the architect of the very secretive US-Australia refugee deal.
The Australians approached us. The embassy talked to me.
The deal was struck in New York last September and in part centred around resettling Central American refugees in Australia.
The main point I want to make is it wasn't one for one. The US was willing to look at taking hundreds and hundreds from that were sort of under the protection of Australia, if you will, in return for Australia doing more.
The ABC understands that doing more also means taking in more refugees from Africa and reuniting those already in Australia with relatives stuck in transit countries like Indonesia. Australia's always been adamant the arrangement does not amount to a people swap.
The announcement today is not connected to any other arrangements.
There was an understanding that we would move forward on both countries would move forward around the same time to make these things happen.
Sources have told the ABC Peter Dutton's office has been given paperwork for a number of El Salvadorian refugees. That could lead to as many as 50 being resettled in Australia to the relief of humanitarian groups.
Of course it makes a difference. I mean, it makes a difference for the people who need protection. There's no question about that.
Donald Trump has deep misgivings about the arrangement, but for now, the American side is progressing. US immigration officials are currently in Nauru fingerprinting and processing possible transferees. Manus Island comes next.
It is possible that some of the refugees from those two sites would make it to the US this year, and it's also possible that not all of them will.
There are elements of the Obama-Turnbull deal that remain classified. Senior Republicans have called for all aspects of the arrangement to be made public. The ABC's been told that's something the Trump administration is considering. Stephanie March, ABC News, Washington.